Facebook, fuck your scenes, Ink and Paper Media, No Pants Productions, maybe Fuck Yeah Pop Punk, we'll see. This is Kevin Spannigan, tonight I'm Storm the Bay. So,
what up?
Why don't you guys introduce yourselves, tell us about y'all.
I'm Mike Till, I play bass and do all the angry vocals.
I'm Nate, I just sing, that's all I do.
I'm Jordan, I play guitar.
And that's who you got here today. What else? What else you want to know about me?
I don't know, you want to share anything?
No. we are members of Storm the Bay. We're from upstate New York, Rochester, New York.
Go Bills.
We've got members from Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse in the band. So.
All over. Great North.
Yep.
So how'd the band first get started?
Oh man, okay. 4 years ago, Jordan and I went to a school up there called FLCC, and it was recording majors. And I was just trolling one day to class, and he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, is that a bass on your back?" I'm like, "Yeah." Cool, let's jam. All right. Gave me his number, and we jammed, and you know, a couple months later, we had our first band practice, and you know, that was a long time ago. We had
Seems like it.
yeah, completely different members back then.
Two different singer, different drummer.
Yeah.
Everyone that left the band was on good accord. It was all because they were
It's
going
all
to
good
school
stuff.
or they were doing something else too. So they're all still friends. They all come out.
Some would call it the Wonder Years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys, they replaced a drummer. Their first drummer went away to school, and we got another guy. And then their singer went away to school, and that's where I came up. I found a Craigslist ad, and they were like, they didn't want to use Craigslist because they thought it was like you find just shady people, and sure enough they did.
You do found this shit.
Here I am.
Point proven.
So that's how we came to be. We picked up Josh Swagler. They all went to school with him. Our drummer currently. They all went to school with him, and he was the first guy that we tried out, and he fit right in. So,
Yeah. Jay Creamy.
if you will.
If you will. So where'd the band's name come from?
Band's name came from, we live on Lake Ontario up in New York. There's a little bay called the Irondequoit Bay that me and our other guitar player, Trevor, grew up going to. You know, it's in our town. When we first started jamming, we couldn't come up with a band name to save our lives. I mean, we must have come up with hundreds of band names.
The worst names.
And yeah, they were all terrible. But one day we were driving across the Bay Bridge on Route 104 there, and our old singer Andy just suggested Storm the Bay. I mean, it didn't really have any particular meaning to it. He just thought it sounded cool. I mean, everyone else liked it. I still not a big fan
Jordan
of
hates it. Jordan hates it.
I don't hate it, but I mean, dude, I got outruled. But I mean, and it stuck, and you know, I've grown used to it.
Funny thing is that someone gave me their 3-song demo a year before I ever played in the band, and I'm like, Storm the Bay. That's a cool name, man. Like, it's short and sweet. It's like noun the verb, like
Noun the verb,
verb the noun. If I knew, yeah. Whatever.
I speak English.
I went to school for that English stuff. But anyways, I thought it was cool. I still think it's cool.
So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where it came from. It's just off whim kind of thing. I mean, in a way, it kind of fits us, I think. I don't know. It just, like, you don't think Storm the Bay and think of, like, you know, like
Easy
an
listening.
an R&B group or anything.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is now.
Should we be talking to you or the camera?
Whichever.
All right.
Just your preference. So y'all got signed not too long ago, didn't you? Tell us about that.
We got signed. It's a local label. It's out of Rochester. Members of a band that called the Sunstreak. They had a pretty big following for a while. They were on Atlantic for like a year, and they did Warped Tour. So they help us with a little bit of publicity. They're kind of our in for. Well, they have a booth in Warped Tour, which is kind of big.
Cool.
So they're trying to get us in there, and like they distribute our music on the tour, and they do publicity and publishing, so they can solicit our music. So we don't have like
Tour support.
yeah, tour support. I mean, we still book all our own shows. We still record all our own tunes and that. But yeah, they definitely help with the business side of things for us because people don't want to talk to the band members. You know, they want to talk to representatives.
Exactly. And business stuff's so lame anyway. Let them handle
Oh,
it.
don't get me started.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be y'all's new EP.
Ooh, can I talk about this?
Go for it.
Oh man.
Go for it.
Travel Songs is the name of the album. It's 5 songs. We recorded, mixed, mastered, produced it all by ourselves. Our drummer has his own studio in Auburn, New York, called SNS Studios, and he recorded everything. He mixed it and mastered it.
So actually, he recorded. No.
Well, yeah. So we didn't technically do it. He set it all up. The kid, he's a wizard. So
Yeah.
it was cool to write an album without any outside influence and feel like it doesn't suck that bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it had its own feel. I would say like
Its own vibe for sure.
we didn't like yeah, it was just 5 songs. We put out the 7-song EP about a year before that, so we were still kind of riding on that. And with Josh and the band, you know, we just started writing new songs, just you know,
a little different flavor.
a little different flavor, a little different direction. Just you know, because I'm not a big fan of sounding the same on every release. I think you know, bands
Gotta grow.
yeah, you have to show growth. I mean, to really, you know, progress as musicians and even as people.
It was cool though because like some of the tunes are a little more subdued, a little more chill. I think there's more depth in the album, but we didn't mean to do any of that. Like we weren't like, all right, we got to cut down on the breakdowns, or all right, we got to cut down on this. It didn't happen that way. Just the songs just kind of came together, and we just felt like this is the way it should sound. So I'm pumped about that because we weren't going for anything. You know what I mean? Like we weren't shooting to write an album that was supposed to fit into a genre. We just kind of wanted to write music. So.
Yeah, it was just 5 songs that we just pretty much 5 new songs we wrote, and we were just like, hey, let's record them, you know. And I thought we were just gonna release them online, you know, not really have a, you know, it's just like, hey, you know, 5 new songs. But we were like, all right, let's, you know, get a new EP out of it. We just signed with Streaker, you know, so we figured, you know, help, you know, get a release out through them. The cool thing about it was we didn't, you know, we weren't in the studio for like 2 weeks straight or, you know, however long. Like we would come and go, you know, week by week. I'd go in for a night, you know, record some guitars, and then, you know, a few days later we go back and, you know, do some vocals or finish up the
Yeah, it's
leads.
very relaxed.
Very at our own
relaxed.
pace, you know. And it was really cool.
We
to,
toured for a month in between recording the album.
we did do that.
We toured through April, and we hadn't finished like half of it yet.
Yep.
This is gonna be a long interview, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, like exactly he said, you know, we just took it at our own pace, and I think it actually that's what made it come together better because we weren't pressed for time, weren't pressed for money, you know. It was just cool.
I don't know. As far as the artwork and the album name, we the same guy that did the album work on our first EP did this. It's our buddy Casey Diaz. He works at what's the parlor?
Horns and Tails Tattoo in
Up in
Rochester.
Rochester. And we basically just gave him the songs and we were like, hey man, just like the last EP, we were like, just come up with something that you think fits this. And he came up with the Travel Songs name, and the photo is actually a picture from tour that we took.
With my cell phone.
Yeah. We were going through some mountains on going through the northern Rockies, and we took some photos, and that's what's on the front of the album. So, kind of simple.
Yeah.
And that's that. That was thorough.
A little bit. So, to anybody watching that hasn't heard you yet, how would you describe the band sound?
Oh, man.
You know, I think when you guys first, it was a pop punk band when it started, and there's a lot. I mean, you still hear the punk beats, and there's a lot of that influence. But I like calling us a rock band because I'd like to think that we don't fit a mold. Like people are like, "Who do you sound like?" And I would like to think that we sound like everything, and therefore nothing. If that makes sense.
We sound like Storm the Bay.
We're not shooting for anything. That's what I kind of liked about this EP is we just kind of wrote it, and we weren't trying to, you know, we weren't like, well, this is where the breakdown should come in and that kind of thing. Like it wasn't like that. We just
You can hear influences from all different sorts of genres. I mean, on all our releases. I mean, like he said, we don't like to try and label ourselves as one genre or another.
And you got guys like Heart and Soul. Like some of these guys love metal and hardcore, and then some of us like easy listen. Well, that's me. Like new metal, like late '90s. Like Creed is a big influence on our band. Don't say that.
Maybe
The
for him.
disgust from the cameraman right now is you're missing it, but yeah.
You're young enough. You should like Creed.
But
He probably doesn't even know who they are.
yeah, we like our own sound. I mean, with the new stuff, you know, we weren't really trying to go for, like he said, like a certain sound. But at the time, you know, Jimmy Eat World just put out that new CD, and Transit was really, you know, not to say like we were molding ourselves, but
Fireworks.
Like,
We
yeah,
listened to a lot of
fireworks.
fireworks.
So much
like
Story
subconsciously.
So far.
All those.
But
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm sure all that stuff kind of influenced what we did a little bit, but we didn't try to copy, you know,
Yeah.
and try to do that. So flip flops killing me right